What's up guys? Today we're going to be messing with the head. The plan is to get the head installed and possibly the intake manifold. The block side is prepared. We're just going to lay the head gasket in, and then we have my intake manifold that you saw me put together, new spider harness. That's all prepped too. I lubricated it right there because it was getting a little rusty, so I'm going to clean that off too and make sure the mating surfaces are good. And gotta apply a bead of sealant on the front and back, and we'll be good there. Hopefully we can get the head in and the intake manifold and worry about all the connectors and vacuum hoses tomorrow. Alright, so I got the head in place, got my Fel Pro bolts. This one thing I like about this 350 swap, the Vortec, is I can get exhaust manifold, the whole engine manifold, gaskets, head bolts, like everything just at an auto parts store. Like it's nothing. You just walk in there, hey, I need this. Alright, we've got 3 in stock. So this has been awesome. It's great. It sucks having to work on it again, but it's the nature of the beast. And we're gonna go ahead and install these bolts. Just gonna drop them in and finger tight them, get them started so the head doesn't fall off. There's 3 bolt lengths. We got the short ones, which all pretty much go on that outside edge. You got your long ones, and then the medium ones. So there's only 2 medium ones. I looked in the book, figure out where these are, and I can figure out where the rest go. So these go in the 14 and 17 position. I'll show you guys. Here's my manual. It's a little bit dirty, used it before. Here's your bolt pattern here. So 14 and 17 are gonna be my medium ones. All these on the inside will be long, all these on the outside will be short. And I'm gonna do all these in order just to be safe. So we got 1, 2, I got my book over here so I can make sure I follow the correct sequence. This one's gonna be 3. This is gonna be boring, so I'll speed this up. Alright, so now I'm being extra careful. I got this tiny little torque wrench, goes up to 80 inch-pounds. And I just wanna make sure I put the same torque on the bolts in spec before I actually torque it to 22 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna go back in order. My goal is to put 80 inch-pounds on all of them. Now we got a torque wrench and we're gonna torque the head bolts. All right, 1 out of 17 done. We torqued all our head bolts with our torque wrench. So now you would need a degree wheel to tighten the rest of the bolts. They're torqued to spec, 22 inch-pounds. And now the short bolts, all the bottom ones, will be turned 55 degrees. And then the long ones will be 75. And then the mid ones are 65, I believe. And there's a torque sequence for that. So it wants me to do 3, 4, 7, 8, 11, 12, 15, 16. All of these are the short ones. The medium ones are all these in the middle, except 14, 17. So we're gonna torque these out, and then we'll torque these out, and then 14, 17. I'll start at a straight up and down, so I know what I'm doing. And now we wanna go 55 degrees. So 45 would be here. We're gonna go 55. There we go. Now 4, start at 90, 45 here, 55. So 14, 17 are gonna be 65 degrees. Sheesh. There we go. Now this one. There we go. And now 75 degrees for all the other ones. We're gonna go. Almost 90. All right, we're torqued. Whew, not too bad. Now for the push rod installation. Hey, baby girl. Oh, me? Oh. All right, I figured I'd show you guys the lube up process because I just added some new lights and might as well use them, right? Do a quick inspection. I already cleaned them out, so let's go ahead and inspect. Looks pretty good. No cracks, no clogs. And I have like 2 sets of these, so I'm not too worried. If there are any cracks, I'll just replace it. So just a little lube on everything, and I'll drop it in there. All right, so I'm gonna lube up down here the cups that they go in. Just drop these in. Bloop. Make sure they sit flush. Oops, wrong hole. Like she said. We're gonna install these rocker arms. So make sure the round side goes down and the flat side up. That way when you put the nut on, it makes that flush contact. Otherwise, you'll probably have some valve train issues. Put these nuts on, and I'm just putting them on. I'm not tightening anything down yet. So now we're set up to check valve lash. But before you do that, you want to check down in here that you're in the ball correctly, because it could be off to the side. So you want to make sure you're centered in there, and you want to make sure you're centered on here. Not only centered on here, but you also want to be centered back here. My ratchet, I have it hooked up to the balancer, so when I rotate this, it rotates the engine. So we're gonna start on these first 2 valves, and I'm gonna rotate this over. Oh, so I see the intake one moving, so that's good. As soon as you see this one moving, you know that this one is set up, ready to go. So what we could do is, we could go back to where it's not moving anymore. Okay, so I don't know if you saw that, it slightly moved. So now we can set valve lash on this one here. The way we set that, and we're gonna move this until it doesn't move anymore. So probably gonna have to tighten quite a bit because there's so much movement, right? See, we got movement. Okay, now what I was told is do it until you can't spin the rod anymore. So I'm reaching in here and I'm spinning this rod here. See it spinning? So I'm gonna spin that until it doesn't spin anymore. Oh, there we go. So let me back it off a little bit. Okay, so it's spinning. I'm gonna go real slow. Oh, there we go. No more spinning. What we want to do is a half turn. So all the way. Boop. There we go. That should be good. Now we're gonna rotate until the exhaust valve starts moving, or the intake. Sorry. So this one's moving. Moving, coming down. Oh, and now the intake valve's moving. So that means this one should be seated now, and this one has got pressure on it. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna tighten this sucker down. There's obviously lots of play, so we'll just smoke her down. Okay. Probably too much. Okay, now we got spin. We're gonna make sure we're flat on our piece here. Perfect. And we're in the ball down there, good. Now we're gonna tighten it until it doesn't spin anymore. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna do half a turn, just like we did before. Boop. There we go. Alright guys, we have the head installed, valve lash is set, everything seems good, cranked it over, it's building compression. I went ahead and took off the valve cover here just out of the way, that way when I install the intake manifold and when I need to stab the distributor I can see what top dead center on number 1 cylinder is. We're going to apply a bead of seal there and there, basically they call it in the valleys, and then we'll place the gaskets there and install the intake manifold. Super excited. This has been like a breeze. I think the best part was I kind of got the deck and everything set and ready, cleaned all the gasket off before I even had this stuff. So now installing is just focused on torquing and seals and gaskets and making sure I'm focused on what I need to be, and it's been good. Alright, so I really didn't want to record that, but I went ahead and I had the seal and I put the intake manifold on, and I don't know if you caught that. Let me play it back. Okay, did you see it? I didn't put the lower intake manifold gasket on. So I took it back off, cleaned off all the gasket, and then I went to put the manifold gasket on. I don't know if you can see, this is water jacket. These are your cylinders, your intakes. There's only 3. That means I ordered the 4.3 VTEC or Vortec V6. I went to put it on and it came up too short. I'm just simply missing 1 cylinder. That's all a 4.3 Vortec is it's a V8 and they chopped off the 2 cylinders. So luckily, like I was saying, you always have the parts you need. I went ahead and went to the shop or Napa right down the street and got what I needed. Unfortunately, I spent another extra 60 bucks, which is annoying. Intake manifold gasket is now on both sides. I'm gonna apply the bead of sealant again. I cleaned it off both this and the intake manifold so we get a good seal. I'm gonna apply a little bit extra this time because I noticed on the backside, since it's pretty difficult to put on, I slid it a little bit and it doesn't look like gasket sealant was covering the whole edge. So we're gonna do that real quick and then we'll go back to installing it and we'll be done for the day. All right guys, we're pretty much done for the day. We got the head and the intake manifold installed. Everything's torqued. Gaskets are curing, or the sealant is at least. And pretty much from here it's smooth sailing. Plugging in connectors, exhaust manifold, just a few things. If you guys want to see that, let me know. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it on my own. And I'll get you guys another video when we do the first start. The only other difficult thing will be the timing, stabbing the distributor. But I got the valve cover off the number 1 side and we will do that But super excited. Hopefully everything goes well. We won't know till we put some fluids in it and start her up. But it should sound better now that it will be firing on all cylinders. Should be. I have everything that it needs. And we won't do the front end until we get it warmed up this time, because I'm just not doing that again. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the content that's been coming out. And I'll try to keep a steady 1 to 2 videos a week. And just tune in, like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Anything's appreciated. Thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Hello, babies. Who's excited? You ready to go get some food? Get some snackies? You too. Alright, let's go inside, yeah? Let's do it. High five.